Ralph Waldo Emerson once wrote, "To know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is to have succeeded." To know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is to have succeeded. That is to say, success is measured by what we give away. What we give away to give life for others. What we give away to make others happy and make others' life better. So we have gathered here before this altar with the mortal remains of Rosalind Joseph Fernandez. And we have gathered here to celebrate her life and also celebrate her success. As a teacher, she has most certainly given innumerable life the ability to breathe easier, not only as students, but all those who were touched by her life. And that includes all of us present here. Yesterday at the wake service, we heard the stories by her son, by her son-in-law, her grandchildren, and also her family friend, stories about how she was able to touch the lives of others. I, for one, have been touched by Rosalind. I don't know her very well, but I know her well enough to say that she died exercising her motherhood. She died loving her children. I once asked her if she had any wish. Of course, I didn't mention if it was last wish, but that was what I meant. And she knew it. And she replied that she had only one wish, that her children and her grandchildren always kept up their faith in God, that they lived happily in unity and in harmony. That was all that she wanted. And she died loving her children. I was also very impressed, very touched by the way Rosalind kept her faith alive. And some of you may have seen the small space that was allotted to her at Grand Quest. The facility was literally a small chapel. It had an atmosphere of a chapel, and you could very well pray there. And Rosalind never complained, not to me. I visited her so many times, she never complained. She never complained about the food she got, or the place she lived in. She never complained about others. She never complained about the care that was given to her. She never complained about pain or discomfort. And every time I asked if she had something to say, the invariable chorus in Malayalam was, "Praise be to God and thanks be to God." That was all she wanted to say, always. And because she always remained connected to God, to the church, and because she could not go to the church was at her side with the sacraments, with the Holy Communion, with the visit by priests and bishops and whatnot. The church was always at her side. She said because she was connected to God, she had so much to give. And until she breathed her last, she had so much to give. And that's why I said she died giving. She died loving. She died exercising her motherhood. And now she has moved on. She has moved on to another life. She has gone to her home and she is moving to that home. Annie Dillard once said, "Home is the name of God. Home is the name of God." And if this is true, our faith can help us to give a new name to dying, going home. Dying means going home, and God is our home. Remember the entrance hymn that we sang? I have loved you with an everlasting love. And I have called you, and you are mine. And these are the words of God addressed to the people of Israel, and they are from the Old Testament, from Prophet Isaiah. I have loved you with an everlasting love, and I have called you, and you are mine. And these are the words being addressed to Rosalind on this day. Rosalind, you are not created for the grave. You are created for myself. You are mine, and I have loved you with an everlasting love, and you are mine. And what do we say? And what is our response? Yes, God. Yes, Lord. She is yours. Please take her. And we have gathered here to give her back to God. She is God's. And we give her back to God with gratitude and with love in our hearts. She's going home. And that's why we are happy to say goodbye. At the same time, we are sad. We are sorrowful because she's not going to be with us anymore physically. Once a man was starting a new business, and his friend wanted to send him some flowers. And he asked the florist to do that. And finally, the flowers arrived at the location of the new business with a card, of course. And it was from his friend, so he opened the card and it read, "Rest in peace." The man, of course, was very angry. That was not the words to be said on the opening of a business. Rest in peace. And then he called the florist, knowing well the mistake he had made. And he was very agitated, and he told him the obvious mistake he made. And at the end, the florist apologized for the mistake he made, and he said, "Sir, instead of being angry, please remember that there is somewhere a funeral taking place today, and they have received the flowers with a card saying, 'Congratulations on your new location.'" But aren't they more appropriate words for Rosalind today than "rest in peace"? Now, if I were to send a card to Rosalind today, that's what I would have written. "Congratulations on your new location. Congratulations on your new home." And the readings that we had, the first reading from Revelation by John, and the second reading from the second letter to the Corinthians by Paul, and the Gospel by John, they all describe about this new location, this new place. From the book of Revelation we heard, John says, he had a vision, says it is a new place, a new creation, a new heaven and new earth, a new Jerusalem, where God will wipe away every tear. And it is a place where there is no more suffering, no more weeping, no more wailing, no more pain, no more sickness, no more death. It's a wonderful place. It's a new creation. It is New Jerusalem. And who doesn't want to go to that location? Who doesn't want to go to that place? And this is how Paul puts that. When our earthly dwelling is destroyed here, we have a place, a dwelling place in heaven, not made by hand, but prepared for us eternally. It is an eternal home. Each one of us has that place. And when we are at home in body here on earth, we are away from God in the sense that we don't see Him. We live by our faith, but not by sight. But when we have reached that place that cannot be destroyed anymore, our dwelling place in heaven, we see God as He is. So then we live and we walk by sight. And that's called a beatific vision, seeing God face to face. And that's the Christian goal. And we can see Him as He is. Are you not excited about that location? Are you not excited about that place? And before John had this vision, or before Paul wrote to the Corinthians and to each one of us here, Jesus had already said about this place long ago. Before His crucifixion, what we call the farewell discourse time, Jesus said, I'm going to prepare a place for you. So don't worry. And when I have done that, I will come back and take you to myself. And take you to that place. It's a place near God. It's a place at the right hand of God. It is a place with God. And don't worry if you will have a place there or not. There's enough space, enough place for everyone. So I'm going to prepare that place for you. And I will take you to my Father. I will take you to that place. And that's why we congratulate her. On this new location, where she doesn't have to suffer anymore, and there is no more weeping, no more quarreling, no more shouting, and no more wailing, and no more sickness and death and pain and suffering. It is a new place, and we usher her into that new place. Rosalind, this is your home. And we ask God, shepherd her, O Lord. Shepherd her from this world to that new location. Shepherd her, Lord, from death to new life. Shepherd her, Lord, from suffering to happiness. Shepherd her, Lord, to that new place that you have promised. It's time, on behalf of the church, I want to thank all of you who have taken care of her. So it said yesterday, Rosalind had a beautiful death that any Christian, any mother, any grandmother would envy. And you were his angels, her children, the family members, and also those at Grand Crest, the facility. You were God-sent angels to Rosalind to minister to her. And now, the members of the family, you have one member less in your family. But the church has, all of us have, or are soon going to have, a new saint for all of us to pray for us. So goodbye, Rosalie. Goodbye. Adieu until we meet again.